On February 11th, 2026, English singer Zayn discussed co-parenting, dating, and his music on Color Daddy, a podcast hosted by Alex Cooper. In the 1-hour-long interview, the former One Direction member made a confession about his relationship with famous supermodel Gigi Hadid. The host reminded Zayn that he had previously admitted that he didn't know if he'd ever been in love. Then she asked him if he still stood by that. He answered, yeah, 'cause my understanding of love is always developing. At that moment in time, I might have thought it was love, but as I got older, I realized maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was lust. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. But I don't feel like it was love. And to be fair, just to say this on record, I will always love G because she's the reason my child is on this earth. And I have the utmost respect for her. I will always love her, but I don't know if I was ever in love with her. He then added, I have so much respect for this woman, and I do love her a crazy amount. But no, I don't think I was in love with her at that point. Otherwise, I would have been a better version of myself. Unsurprisingly, his words shocked many women who probably wondered how a 6-year relationship which produced a child could be far from a passionate, never-ending love story. What is love? Baby, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me no more.
What is love, love? Baby, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me no more.
Love, a divisive word. Let's begin this reflection with a statement. Everyone is free to express their feelings. It may certainly shock some of us that Zayn was never in love with JJ, but it doesn't make him guilty of speaking his truth, especially when he does so respectfully. This video is not meant to judge or condemn him, though we understand that some women may feel hurt by his words. Love has increasingly spurred divisive conversations over the past years. It has become a wild card that inspires joy, hope, confusion, disappointment, sadness, and unfortunately, hatred. It seems that everybody has their own definition and expectations of love. Women often reproach men for lying and being inconstant, but their reactions to some of the truth that men share prove that they are not ready to hear and accept how they truly feel. Zayn is not the only man to doubt that he's ever been in love with a partner after a long relationship, whether on Reddit, Facebook, TikTok, or even YouTube. One can find several posts that suggest that men often question their feelings for their longtime partners. One of these posts says, I love my wife so much, but I feel like I settled sometimes. Another says, my wife asked if I still love her last month. I hesitated. Other posts are clear. Love is clearly gone. I am not in love with my wife anymore. Am I so bad if I am not in love with my wife anymore? What should I do if I no longer love my wife? Women too stop loving their long-term partners, but they may keep it for themselves. Love is a divisive word because the way each of us defines it depends on various personal factors, culture, family, past experiences, preferences, and expectations. One thing is certain, many of us have already realized that they've never been in love despite having an amazing relationship that stir up great memories. Many have mistaken love for something else. As Zayn said himself, maybe it was lust, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. How can a feeling that affects us so much be the source of anxiety? Why does love divide people? Love, a sacred contract. Love is a social construct. Everybody wants to love and be loved. Subconsciously or not, everybody is looking for love. Everybody wants to meet their soulmate. Love is such an important part of our lives that it has become an obsession for some. People would go to any length to find love. Why? Why does love impact our happiness? No one can escape love. It's a necessity. It seems that the pursuit of love is etched into our souls, almost like the basic need to feed ourselves. No one can escape love because it's inspired by an age-old sacred contract. No one can escape love because it is inspired by an age-old sacred contract. The sacred contract that inspired modern-day love used to be a lifelong agreement between two parties, each represented by a member. For example, in old times, in some cultures, the contract didn't allow separation, which means that the bond between the two people who loved each other was supposed to be unbreakable. The word sacred suggests a spiritual side, an aspect that goes beyond the physical world. Throughout centuries, the sacredness of the contract has been lost, forgotten, which makes some of us reminisce the old times where love lasted even after death. This often leads us to unfortunate situations, heartbreaks, that force us to question the real definition of love, this indescribable feeling that once changed people's lives forever. Love, a lure. Love has clearly lost its magic. It is a lure. Some people think that they are in love when they simply feel physically attracted to someone. Others say that they love a person when they share a strong sexual connection with them. In our modern societies, love stories do not last until death puts us apart. It is obvious that love has evolved into a feeling that each of us can redefine as they wish. Love is about an experience. It is no longer a contract that two parties fight tooth and nail to respect. The moment the experience becomes unpleasant, love is gone. Love is no longer the spiritual, transformative experience that provides us the tools to forgive each other and continue to grow together. Love is now a common word that some may even use to serve their interests. Some say that love is a scam, so one can become a victim of love. Who is the victim of love, Zayn, Gigi, or both? When a social construct turns out to be a lure, there are dire consequences. Many people end up disappointed and suffer over the long term. A heartbreak may leave invisible scars that will undermine future relationships. If one has trust issues because they were cheated on or abused by a partner, they may be reluctant to give love a second chance. There is no wonder love has become a lure. Many don't know what it means and entails, so they prefer to rely on their own definition, often based on their experiences and those of their friends and relatives. Love is sometimes a lie, and the worst part is that one does not always lie intentionally. Zayn is obviously more mature, and he realizes that he may have lied to himself. His confession is a reminder that some people mistake love for something else. They do not want to hurt anyone. They are simply experiencing life to find love, to understand what it means, to understand what it is.
A sacred contract should remain sacred. If you change the terms of a sacred contract to fit your needs and expectations, you should not be surprised to face regrettable situations. The prospect of finding love can put one in a vulnerable position that enables others to take advantage of them.
Love, a myth. More and more people think of love as a myth. After several failed relationships, they lose hope. Perhaps love was simply a myth invented by our ancestors to preserve families. Perhaps love was created by a utopian mind that ignored the laws of human nature. Human beings generally have a hard time to restrain their desires. We want to be free. Why bother with the implications of infidelity if we feel good when we're cheating? The myth of love reassures the many who have not found their soulmates yet. It is an ideal. Most people fail to commit to an ideal. They remain in long relationships, broken marriages, just to avoid loneliness or to fit in with friends. Society puts a lot of pressure on single people. Some are harassed with intrusive questions, almost like suspects. Anyone who defies a social construct is frowned upon. Love, an adventure. Love means so many things. Attraction, sex, complicated feelings, a partnership, an open relationship, a fling. Love is used to disguise intentions and motives. Even if it has lost its magic, it still works wonders for some people. Do you remember how you felt the first time that someone told you that they loved you? Dizzy? Odd? Or perhaps flattered? Being in love disarms us. It has a strange effect on our reason. It often makes us less reasonable, more vulnerable. What an adventure. Zayn's adventure led him to Tinder. Dating apps have taken center stage in the quest of love. Can people find love on dating apps? Are dating apps compatible with durable love? Swiping, going from one profile to another, chatting with strangers, and dreaming about them are the new steps to find a soulmate and build that mystical connection with the loved one. A connection that may inspire either a romantic movie or a timeless bestseller. Dating apps certainly make the adventure more exciting for some, but also riskier for others. We never know if the person behind the screen is a sociopath who's also looking for love. Despite the chilling cases some users have reported, public opinion remains comfortable with the use of dating apps. They offer too many advantages to sink into oblivion, one of them being the possibility to build a deep, genuine connection based on character rather than physical attraction. If love is an adventure, we should not be surprised to meet people with different visions. Can a couple last if the partners have a different vision? Zayn and Gigi obviously didn't define love the same way, which eventually took a toll on their relationship. One seemed to envision love as a powerful feeling that elevates the soul and makes it ready to bond with another soul over the long term. The other defined love as a multifaceted feeling that reveals the fickleness of the human mind. In other words, Gigi certainly believes that love is a goal, whereas Zayn sees it as an adventure. Do you agree? Whether a sacred contract, a myth, or an adventure, love cannot disappear. It'll continue to inspire many generations, provided that they put in the energy and efforts to keep it alive. Does love always last forever? Were you shocked by Zayn's confession? Let us know in the comments.